Hi everyone, welcome from Live from Consensus. We're here to talk to you guys. I want to introduce myself. I'm Amrit. I am the PM at IO, and we're here to talk about something really interesting that's been built in the shadows at the moment, but we want to bring it to the light. We want to talk about the Midnight City simulation. So we're here to talk about what's been built. Some of the key things that we want to address today, we're going to be covered by our trusty team. So we've got Nico and Jan here. Jan is our technical architect, and he's been overseeing all of the integration work and putting all the pieces together. And Nico's been our lead engineer that's been covering the build of the layer 2 on Midnight, which has been super exciting. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about the systems and who designs it and how we are highlighting zero knowledge proofs and privacy and being able to make the invisible visible. One of the main things that I think that we want to start off with is why did we build Midnight City? So I'm going to kind of outline the vision and then hand it over to Jan to kind of give us a brief overview of what is, kind of on the visual side, what we're covering on Midnight City. But one of the main premises is that we wanted to show a way where we've built these zero knowledge proofs on Midnight, and we want to showcase scalability. And at the moment, rather than having it sit within a white paper or some static metric, we want it to be able to show it in real life. So one of the ways that we've done that is showcasing it through the actual simulation. That shows, kind of live key metrics that are going to be on the performance and scalability side, but also how we highlight selective disclosure. So what I'm going to do is, Jan, I'm going to kind of direct the question towards you and just be able to kind of outline, introduce yourself and what you think Midnight City simulation is.
Yeah, thanks, Amrit. So my name is Jan Müller, and I'm the architect. I'm an architect at IO, and it was my job to put all the different pieces that Midnight City is made of, to put them together and make sure that the interfaces work out. And then we have this big piece of art, really, that has come out of it. And we wanted Midnight City to be a living and breathing economy. And our intention is for it to act as a window into the network. So we want to visualize all of the activity that's happening on Midnight, and that would normally be fragmented across a lot of different locations, different websites, protocols, and so on. We wanted to have one place that shows all of this activity at a glance. And we also want to use Midnight City to visualize some ideas that are normally quite abstract. Things to do with privacy operations, selective disclosure, all these ideas. That is something that we wanted to give a nice visual image to, that you can just look at, and then it's super easy to understand what's happening and why are the agents using it.
No, I love that point. I love the concept of us saying it's a kind of a window into Midnight and also the front page of the kind of network. But it's not just a visual piece, but there's some actual serious infrastructure that's been built behind it. So I think that's something that I'd love to talk to you about, Nico, is that explaining kind of the differences between the God mode and public mode, and how we are able to, we've said it in a couple of demos, we've highlighted it as a key way to show that selective disclosure. But I'd love for you to kind of explain about like how do we actually demonstrate that within the simulation?
Yeah, so as you may have seen in other layer 2s and scalability solutions, maybe you are not worried so much about privacy, but for Midnight, this is part of the core of Midnight, privacy, selective privacy. So the solution needed to not only be like as good for like normal users, but also it should be good for AI, for agents. So not only we had to thought about like all of the different pieces that are going to enable us to get scalability over 1,000 TPS with privacy and also selective privacy, which means that users or AI agents that are participating in specific pools that are able to send assets, they can select to who they are going to share some information. And that information could be with different levels, because not only you have the sender, the receiver, the amount transact, also you have like other previous transfer, who sent you the funds before. So all of that needs to like work together in a solution that is also scalable, and users need to be able to, or AI agents need to generate these CK proofs, and they cannot take like in other systems like 10 seconds or 20 seconds with like multiple cores with NVIDIA GPU. It needs to be like something that is fast and it can work in like your mobile phone. So we were able to achieve like really good results, and I'm like really excited to talk a little bit more about that after.
No, amazing. I think that's one of the main things that we wanted to highlight, the actual use of the zero knowledge proof. So is there a reason where you think that why this is important, and a bit more kind of just, kind of high level context to the audience of, why are zero knowledge proofs, unique to being used on Midnight, and essentially why we've kind of incorporated that into the simulation?
Yeah, so imagine that you're going to buy coffee and you pay, and after you pay, like the cashier can see your entire history of like what you're buying, how much money you have. It's like privacy is something that is inherent to humans, to us as people. We want some privacy, but at the same time, if we go too far, we get into like maybe this darkest zone that feels like a little bit like almost like too secretive. And what you want is to have like the right balance, that you are able to select to whom you're going to share this. It could be like some auditors, some requirements for the government, so you can prove that you're not doing anything wrong. You're just buying coffee.
Yeah. So I think one of the questions that we've wanted to understand is like, why do you think people struggle to connect with abstract ideas like selective disclosure? So do you think that this will help make things click for people?
Yeah, so when you have your normal bank account and I transfer money, and maybe I transfer money to you, there's like so many regulations that the bank is like checking for.
Yeah.
But you don't know any of that. You just put like, I want to send this amount to this person, click, and it works. But in crypto, we haven't had those systems incorporated to the technology. So that's why we wanted to like give a really easy to use user experience, as simple as like normal AI agents that have never been trained with any technology from Midnight or the layer 2 are able to use it without problems, because right now you can, some of the providers that we have, OpenAI, Cloud, they're able to use this technology without any training, which is amazing. So we are also proving that it's like very easy to use and you don't need to have any other knowledge.
Yeah. So I think, and then also one thing that I think we want to highlight is throughout the simulation, it's so easy to visualize it, right? You can just switch between public mode and auditor mode. And I think that's something that's a lot of people, even like you said, people that might not be technically up to speed with the actual ZK stuff, they're able to see, okay, this is straight away, there's an encrypted transaction, and here you're able to see, sender, receiver, and how the amount that's been sent. So I think that's really easy to understand. Moving on to kind of the autonomous agent side, I think, Jan, I'll hand this over to you. Kind of what is the role of agentic AI within MCS?
Yeah, so the agents act as a 24/7 stress test almost on the network. So they don't actually, they never sleep, and it's a long running simulation. So they actually remember things that happened days ago. They have a personality that can change. So it's like an evolving system. But one of the effects that this has is that we constantly get a baseload, basically, of realistic traffic on the network. And we wanted this to act as a performance test of the layer 2 as well, because normally when you do a load test like that, you have basically one transaction that you fire off a million times. But with the agents, we can generate realistic usage patterns. We can do different types of transactions, trading, using the protocols. When there are new protocols, the agents will be able to do different transactions on them, to trade them in a way that a human would use them. So it's a very elegant approach to generate really realistic traffic in high numbers.
Yeah, I think, and then I think one of the things that we'd like to highlight is why did we choose autonomous agents instead of just waiting for humans to join? Why do you think that's one of the reasons that we went with the AI agents?
So the AI agents, they can act as a test bed. Really,
Yeah.
we can put them in different situations. We have these scenarios where we can trigger activity like the trading frenzy or other external events that they react to. So we can also use these agents to get some user feedback, basically on new applications, which is going to be much easier to collect than getting actual humans to use the products.
Yeah, I think so. One of the things that we see Midnight City evolving is that it's going to take a life of its own, right, at some point. And effectively, we're watching a digital society be able to grow. As we said, as time goes on, these agents, develop their own personalities, have their own memories. And, as we want to be able to go from, have the concept of Midnight City, everyone is able to have different districts as we've got. And hopefully, as time goes on, that is able to expand. I think, how do you see it evolving? Is it just something that we see as a demo, or we want to where we think we want to take it?
Yes, I think this goes back to this idea of Midnight City acting as a window into Midnight, or as the front page to Midnight, and that's what we want to build on. We always wanted to represent what's currently happening on Midnight, and a big part of that is that users will be able to spawn their own agents almost, or to have an agent that's associated with them that they can personalize, equip. Like it's almost like a role-playing game, but it's not interactive. But you have this character sheet. You can customize the agent. It's yours basically, and it lives in the simulation.
Yeah, no.
I think that's really gonna connect or make it tangible for every user that signs up to it.
That's amazing. I think, and one of those were the two significant directions that we want it to evolve in, right? So one is being able to spawn your own agent, and other is like allowing people that encourage people that want to build on Midnight to have their own kind of dApps integrations, right? So that almost continues to create an ecosystem view of what's happening on Midnight. And that can be, goes down to back to the vision and the concept of it being the front page of Midnight. You're able to learn about what's happening, what's going to be released, but also be able to see exciting events that are happening within the simulation that are going to continue to showcase, the amount of activity that's happening. So the more and more the Midnight network grows, in line with that, MCS is going to grow. So we're kind of looking ahead. We're hoping to launch publicly soon. And what do you think people will be able to do day one, and how do you think that they can engage?
So in the beginning, you'll be able to watch the agents, observe their activity, so in the long run, we want people to really connect with these agents, interact with them, find their own personal representation on this network.
Yeah. So I think, we're all excited to see where this goes, and for everyone watching, Charles has just, will have revealed the simulation on stage, live at Consensus, but, the journey is just starting. I think that we've got a lot of exciting ideas that where we think that the simulation can go, and it's not just, the front end visual layer. There's a lot of, deep technology and infrastructure that's behind it. So I think that when we're looking to go, we would love for everyone. We do have a website that you'll be able to sign up to following the announcement, and it will be at midnight.city. We'd love for everyone to engage and sign up early so you guys can get updates when there is going to be a public release. There's going to be a kind of a teaser trailer that's available, and at the same time we will also be able to showcase some demos that are going to be happening following Charles's announcement. So I think that we want to kind of move on into say we've alluded to some of the future plans and what we see, but I think briefly, just in 30 seconds, if we want to highlight what is the next big milestone that we're kind of trying to achieve in after the immediate public release. So Nico, I would just love for you to talk about from the scaling side of things, some of the things that you are planning on working on.
Yeah, so as you know, we are going to have mainnet and also pre-prod for Midnight. So we want to showcase how the layer 2 incorporates very deeply with Midnight itself. So there's going to be tokens and assets moving from the layer 1 to the layer 2, back to the layer 1. And these also assets are going to be connected to AI agents that are going to be able to control them, which is really cool. And also, we are going to put more information so users can also see the proofs that are like making this layer 2 be secure and be trustless. So we're going to show about like how we incorporate DEs, the zero knowledge proof that we generate, how this concept of selective disclosure works, things that look encrypted, but if you have like the right keys, and for example, if you are an auditor, how you decrypt them, but in an easy way. So all of these pieces, how can a user like put them together, understand how the system was put together in a way that also scales, because no other like privacy system out there gets to like over 1,000 TPS. Most of like the blockchains right now that have like high TPS, they don't have privacy. And the ones that do have privacy, they're always in the low numbers, while we are able to achieve these like really high numbers. So I'm excited to show all of these different like sort of Lego pieces that we put together to achieve this.
No, amazing. And I don't know if you want to talk a bit more to, the layer 2 and the solutions that you're kind of building is not just specific to Midnight City simulation. It's also something that, other people and other dApps that are looking to kind of scale and integrate, that will also be available, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because you can think of like the layer 2 not just as a general purpose layer 2, but also that this could even be like a framework that people can modify and create sort of like an app rollup that's going to be specialized for a specific goal, and it's going to be like faster, cheaper, maybe like the proof could be even like more smaller, so you can generate even if you have a necessity for like even higher TPS, maybe you can do that. Or maybe you can want to add some specific like workflows inside the proof for like selective disclosure that actually you don't need to do the selective disclosure manually. Maybe you want to do that automatically, so you could incorporate that. So there's a lot of things that you can incorporate that's like really cool. So making this maybe like an open framework so app developers can use it for their own purposes could be like also like really cool.
No, I think that's really important. I think, Jan, from what we see on the simulation side, again, there's a lot of things that we want to be able to leverage, right? So is there some things that we, can encourage also developers that want to build on Midnight, but the way that they can see to kind of, add, because one of the main reasons we wanted to build Midnight City was to be kind of an attractor aggregator, right? So draw people to the Midnight network, let them find out what's going on. Charles in the past has talked about some of the key technologies that we want to, implement across Midnight and have that present and visualized within the simulation. But, I don't know if you wanted to kind of talk to some of those thoughts and ideas of like the way we see the educational and kind of that side of it. And then maybe we can also kind of mention of, the kind of economic activity that we also want to encourage in the future.
Yeah, so one of the driving ideas that we have for extending Midnight City is when you're someone who's building a protocol on Midnight, you can represent that in Midnight City. You can start even before you've started coding the actual contracts and so on. You can represent your app in Midnight City, maybe as a building or something that the agents can physically go to and talk about and start using. And that way, you can achieve two things that way. So one is you get more visibility early on, even before you have any kind of mainnet presence or anything. And the second thing is you can use that as a way to test the user flow. So the agents will go through these user flows. You get content that you can use to talk about what you're building. You can get feedback. Is it too complicated? Could you tweak this or tweak that? And you can do all that before you have to commit to a complex build and actually execute it, because that's often where a lot of mistakes are made early in these projects. You commit to something that you later regret, and then by building this in Midnight City in the beginning, you can avoid some of these mistakes early on and make sure that you have a good product fit.
No, amazing. Yeah, no, I definitely think that's one of the main points. And then also being able to, some of the concepts and ideas that we're, again, starting to think about is being able to produce real metrics through the simulation so that you can feed these back to these dApp developers and give them insights on, where there's engagement, what feedback can be done, and, where also from the agent side is like what the interaction levels have been. So some of the things that we've, kind of touched upon high level, but, the concept of having kind of night marketplace and, encouraging that kind of use. Do you want to kind of give us some insight on what we're thinking from that perspective.
Yeah, so at some point the agents will be able to move real economic value on mainnet. And that's when the economy in Midnight City becomes a real economy, not just a simulated one, but it actually has real effect on real values.
Yeah, no, I think that's something that's, one of the key ideas of what we want to focus on in the future. So I think that, I don't know if there's anything else that you guys want to really highlight. I think we've covered from the selective disclosure side and also scalability. But Nico, is there any thoughts that you want to really highlight to the audience and something that they want to learn about Midnight City?
Maybe just a thought that as developers or entrepreneurs, we're always thinking about like creating applications for humans. And sometimes you will create a website, you will think the website for humans, and sometimes you will have bots like Google crawlers. But now your market just expanded like hugely, because now also you have to support AI agents. So this could be like also a good opportunity for like all of these developers that are thinking about building in Midnight, that also not only you want to have humans as your customers, you want to have a city full of AI agents that maybe end up using your app, which is like kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the ways of connecting the app to the real world, feeding back information into the agents and the other way around as well.
Yeah, and I think one of the points that we've also raised is the social media interaction as well, and how we want to incorporate that into the simulation. Do you guys have any kind of thoughts and encouragement that we can kind of allude to the audience of the way we want to do that within the simulation?
I mean, it would be nice if the agents had their own social media accounts.
Yeah.
They could maybe have a Discord handle or Twitter account, something like that, and then you could see their activity from Midnight City represented in some other media that you consume.
Yeah. So I think we want to kind of carry this on to the audience. So Midnight City will be launching soon. The Midnight City page will be live following Charles's announcement, so please sign up. We encourage everyone to take a look, and we're keen to hear everybody's feedback. So it's going to be incredible to watch it grow. I think for everyone that has been a part of Midnight City, it's been a really exciting project to be able to work on, because it's evolved so quickly, and I think it's one of the things that we've really been able to bring to the forefront to showcase what the Midnight Network can do. So please sign up to early access, and I think Jan and Nico, I'd like to say a big thank you to you guys for all the work that the team has also done, but kind of giving our thoughts and insights today. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.